Hey everybody, it's me Jordan from Something Fishy Aquatics. Today I'm water testing my 20-gallon bow front to make sure it's going to hold water. I just did a reseal on it a few days ago, so I'm going to leak test it real quick, and then as long as everything's good, it's going to go inside the house, and that's where the new guppy operation is going to go. Well, I got the tank filled up, as you can see, and it's holding water. Looks good. I tried to clean it up pretty good with a razor blade. There's still a little bit more on there. It's hard to see on camera, but it doesn't look too bad. So she holds water, so I'm gonna get all this water out and get it back in the house. All right guys, so next step in the process, you just saw we water tested the new tank, and that's good to go. Right here in the tank beside me is the current guppy setup, but I'm going to be netting all my guppies out of here, and then they're going to go from this tank over to my quarantine tank that currently just has some guppies and plecos and shrimp and stuff in it right now. So they'll be good to go over here with the rest of them, and once I get all these guppies moved to this tank, then it'll be a matter of draining water out of this tank and all that, and then once the water's drained, all the gravel's got to come out and all the dirt has to come out, and all that'll go into the new tank. Well, once the water comes out, this tank will get moved, and then the new tank will go in place, and then I'll move the gravel and the dirt and all that stuff and the plants. So yeah, let's get this started. This is going to be a good little process of getting all this done here today. I got quite a few of them in my first scoop here just because they all come up to the top and kind of sit there. So first dump of guppies is going in. Almost said guppies. First dump of guppies. That's a tongue twister. You say that a few times fast. Oh, so we've got first dump of guppies in. Let's see how many more we can catch. That's the majority of them there. So another good little batch here. Got maybe 6 of them. Whoa, this guy's trying to jump out. Some more. So then there's all size of guppies in this quarantine tank, all the way from, you know, a week-old fry. So the 3 fry that I've got in this tank going over there, everything should be fine. I'm not too worried about them. Looks like we've got 1 red male and just the fry left in here, from what I can see. I'll do a good check though, obviously, to make sure we've got everybody. And of course, the very last adult in here is going to fight me to not want to go in the net. There we go. Good boy. Alright. Last adult. One of my reds. He's now in the tank. So I think all we've got left, from what I can see, is just these 3 fry that are in here. So I'm going to break the fry net out for this. Sorry guys, I've got the hiccups and my voice sounds weird. I see the 3 fry. Not seeing any adults, so I think we're good just to catch these fry and move on. Got the first fry. in that tank now. Let's see if we can catch these other two. Got number 2. And I'll tell you what, if I was trying to catch swordtails in this video to move them, we'd be here all day. Swordtails are so hard to catch. These guppies about swim into the net for you. Doesn't get much easier than that, guys. Oh, that one tried to jump on me. Good Lord. Glad my hand was there, we'd have been down a fry. That was a little scary. So I'm going to just do another check over in the tank, just to make sure we've got everybody. And if we've got everybody, we'll move on to the next step. I've just found like 4 more fry in here that I've never seen in here, so that's interesting. Let's get these guys out. I got 3 right here. I was just looking in the top of the tank where fry tend to hang out, you know, and there was 3 of them just sitting up there. That's what's going to be the hardest part when I go to move all the fish from this tank to the new tank, is just finding all the fry that are in there. Which, it'll get done, but it might take a little while. I'll do another really good look through just to check again. If we do happen to miss a few, it's not the end of the world. They'll either come out in the bucket as we're siphoning the water out, or we will see them as we're siphoning. So, okay, I'm not seeing any. I'm gonna bring you guys down here real quick. Here's the setup with no fish in it, just the plants and the rock and everything. The plan is the water that I pull out of this tank will go into the new tank, so that way there's already some good cycled water in there. We'll be reusing the same sponge filter as well as the heater and all that, and all the plants and everything will get moved over as well. This tank here will actually be my turtle tank for my red ear slider once I have all this stuff out and switched up, and I'm sure I'll have videos on that here soon eventually too. But yeah, I think next step is just draining some water out and moving on. Alright, as you guys can see, we've got the water level down. We've got about 10 gallons of water here that we've pulled out, so it should be enough that I can move the tank now. So my plan is this tank's going to come down and I'm going to set it somewhere for the time being, so that way I can get the new tank in this place and then start moving stuff over. As you can see, I've already got the heater pulled out, the filters pulled out. All that's in there right now is dirt, rocks, and plants, and the light. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so I've got the old tank down here sitting on some wood with all the plants and everything in it. Got this over it just to keep dog hair out. New tank's sitting up here, just waiting for everything to get put in it. All that junk you see, that's just on the back wall too, for the most part. There's a little on the front, but it'll be alright once I get water in it and everything. So, time to start transferring stuff over. Alright, so I got all the rest of the water out of the tank, and I scooped up, you know, what bit of the rocks I could by hand. So now basically my goal is to move all this topsoil over into the new tank with a cup or something, and then once all this topsoil's moved over, then I will either add more if I need to, or go ahead and add my gravel back on top. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so we've got all the dirt in there, although it's pretty much mud right now. Basically I just took a red Solo cup and scooped it out, and once I scooped it out, brought it over here and dumped it in. It's a little bit wetter than I was hoping it would be, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference once I get all the gravel and stuff inside it. If the water is really muddy when I fill it up later, I'll wait to move fish till another day. But hoping to move them tonight. It's getting pretty late though, so we'll see how this goes. Up next, like I mentioned, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some gravel in. I think I'm just gonna leave it flat at the bottom. I don't have any hills or anything like that. It's only a 20-gallon bow front, so there's not tons of room. I know a lot of people can get really crazy good with scaping and stuff, and you know, even a 10-gallon tank, but I'm not you know, anything crazy. This is like one of my, well, really this is my first time I've done a planted tank before, so I'm just kind of moving all that to here. So we will see how it turns out, but I think I'm just going to put some gravel on top here and put a little bit of water in, and then put some plants in, and then fill her up. All right, we got rock in. I did a little bit thicker layer this time than I did on the other tank, just because I feel like it'll help when I clean the tank a little bit easier. It'll make that better because there's more gravel to siphon instead of picking up a bunch of dirt. So my next plan is I'm gonna fill the water level up a little bit, about up in here maybe, just enough to where we can put the plants in, and then once we get plants in, there's really not a whole lot left to do other than filling it up and getting fish in it. So let's keep on trucking. Alright, we got my little contraption here to start filling the tank up. We got our bucket of water here, siphoning out into the tank, into a cup, and I put a bunch of slits in. That's just basically to slow the flow of water coming out, to keep it from stirring up all the dirt and everything. We want to try to minimize the amount of dirt that gets stirred up, just to keep the water clear. So we'll see how that does. Alright, so now got the gravel in, got the sponge filter in, we've got the heater back here. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start planting all the plants that we took out of the tank originally. Got some wisteria here. I don't know exactly how I want to do all this yet, so I'm going to kind of wing it and see how it looks, and if I like it, great. If not, I can always give her another try. So now we're just going to wing it and see how it goes. Got some wisteria here. I'm gonna try to plant a bunch of this wisteria first. Couldn't believe how well some of this stuff had rooted itself when I was taking it out. Kind of surprised me. Like, I knew they would grow roots, obviously, and grow down into wherever they were planted, but like, it really surprised me because they were just, some of them were in there. I thought I was gonna rip the plants in half trying to get them out. As I mentioned earlier, I did the gravel a little bit deeper this time than I had done previously, and I kind of am doing that just so it makes it easier to clean the gravel and everything. It was a little difficult in the other tank because as soon as you would get the vac, you know, anywhere close to the bottom, almost, you just start sucking dirt up from underneath it. So I want to try to avoid that this time and make it a little bit easier to clean the gravel. I'm also really excited to have this tank going and see all the guppies in it. I like the old 20 long setup, but the reason I'm moving away from the 20 long to this 20 bow front is I just feel like there's more potential in a few different ways. I feel like there's more potential for the plants to grow upwards, and I just realized you probably couldn't hear any of that because my face was in the tank. So I'll say it again just in case you can't hear it. But the reason I'm moving away from that 20 long to this 20 bow front is I just feel like there's more potential in a couple different aspects. One aspect being it gives the plants more room to grow upwards. And I know the guppies aren't really like multi-level and everything, but they got to be around everywhere. But me personally, I just kind of like the height of this tank better. It makes it easier to view, so everything will have, you can see everything better in it. But in the long run, I just think it's going to be a better option. But we will see how we like it once we get it all set up. But I'm pretty confident that we're really gonna, or I'm really gonna like this. It's up to you guys whether or not you like it or not. Keep seeing wood, little pieces of wood and whatnot coming off these plants, and I keep thinking it's fry, but I'm like, there's no way it's fry, because it would not have survived everything that I've been moving around, unless it was like on the plant when I moved it or something. I got my little Anubius plant here. Had this guy for quite a while. He's rooted really good since I planted him. Get towards the middle, I think here. Dig a pretty good section out, so I can get all his root system down in there. One thing that we do sacrifice though by moving to this type of tank is less floor space, obviously, because on that 20 long you've got more floor space and with more plants. But I just think everything will look better here in this setup. I enjoy the height of a tank more than I do the length. I'll tell you guys what, if any of you guys do anything with, or if you have jungle vallisneria planted or jungle val, that stuff grows like crazy. I've only had this stuff in here for about a week, and I have just got starts on top of the starts of it growing, which I'm not complaining. That's what you want out of plants, you know. So it's great that it's growing that much. I just didn't expect it to grow that fast. I don't use lots of fertilizers or anything. I do use fertilizer, but I usually only dose it like as I'm doing water changes and whatnot. So it's not like I'm filling the tank with ferts and whatnot. But everything seems to be doing good. Look how long some of that jungle val is. This one here's got a little shoot coming off of it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pull it out. A big old long piece. Got one shoot coming here. Just had a buddy over the other day. He got a few starts of this off of me. I had one plant that had like 4 shoots coming off of it, off the one stem, or off the one branch, or whatever you want to call it. It had like 4 starts on it. So I told him, here, you can have this whole section of starts. So I just snipped that piece and said, here you go. But yeah, this stuff grows like crazy. Uh-oh, I have a little bit of the end break off there where it melted. It's all good. But yeah, if anybody's looking for quick growing plants, highly recommend this jungle val. This stuff just goes crazy. I'm gonna move this plant forward some, which sucks because I just dug a deep hole for it. I'm gonna move it forward though, so I have room for this jungle valve on the other side of the filter. I was told that jungle valve likes to kind of flow with water at the top, so I try to keep it where the filter will keep it moving. Hoping you guys can see a little bit of what's going on. I know the water's cloudy down there, so you probably can't see much. I hope you can see enough to at least get the gist. Definitely want to get this guy in here. Got the names of this stuff now. I don't remember them off the top of my head, so I have to look it up. These are some of the plants I got off of Kendall's Aquatics from Hartford City, Indiana. These plants have done amazing for me. I'm super impressed. The only plants I didn't get off of them that are in here is my one Anubius, and I have all this wisteria. Those are the only plants in here I didn't get from them. But the rest of these plants that I did get from them were doing fantastic. As you can see here, we've got more jungle valve. This one's got another start coming off of it, getting ready to grow some more there. And that's pretty much all these are new starts since I've had them. And like I said, I've only had these for a week now, a little over a week. Been a week and a few days. And this stuff just grows like wildfire. Okay, it looks like I've got it all planted just about. What's this? Another jungle valve, I believe. 2 jungle valves. These are some smaller ones. I'll go ahead and plant these too. I don't know, I'm getting tempted to do plants in one of my other tanks at least, just so I've got somewhere else to put these starts. I'm gonna get overran, which I love the look of a full planted tank, but I don't know a whole lot of what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of winging it. I'm sure there's ways you could do this and make it look 20 times better, but I'm just doing what works with me and seeing how it goes. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to start shipping out plants here eventually, somewhat soon, through our company, Something Fishy Aquatics. I'd like to start shipping some plants, and there'll be a lot of what's right here, because this is what we've got to grow now. So we'll start with these, and over time we'll have more. But yeah, I'd like to start shipping these, and then once I can get my production up on the rest of my fish, I'm gonna dive into shipping fish here eventually as well. We've got a few shrimp that hopefully will start breeding for us once we get them in here out of quarantine. And then once I get some shrimp going, those will probably hopefully ship those as well. We'll definitely sell them from our store or from home now, but once we have our store going, they'll be sold from there. Okay, well, during all that rambling, all of those plants are now in there. So the plan is I'm going to go ahead and get this last bucket of water in the same way that you guys saw I did the other one, or the first bucket. Just strain it in here from a gravel cleaner, and then I will update you guys after I get the new water in. But here's a good look from the other angles with the plants in it. It's kind of a mess right now. The water's all cloudy and they're all just kind of tossed around, but once I get once the water clears up and I get it filled up and they all stand correctly, it will look a lot better. So I will update you guys once I get some more water in it. Alright guys, the water's full now. Got the filter going. The heater's in there too in the back. You just can't see it. The water's still really cloudy because it just got filled up. But once this clears up tomorrow, I'll get some better shots of it. But I'm really excited to see how this is going to look once it clears up. Alright guys, I've finally started moving some of the stuff over into the new tank. About 24 hours later, after the water's cleared up. It's not perfectly clear yet, but it's getting there. We moved our male bristlenose in there. I just moved him in. And all these fish have just recently been moved, so if any of them act kind of skittish, that's why. See if I can find the shrimp somewhere. There's one right there on that leaf. Kind of see him picking away. There's about 5 or 6, maybe 7 of them in here. There's one right there. There's one hiding under there already. Nice close-up shot of the beautiful male bristlenose. Let's see if we can find some more shrimp real quick. I don't know, they're in there somewhere. I'm hoping that they will eat some of this blackbeard algae off of some of these plants. My guess is it's just from overexposure of the light. But I'm planning to get a timer set up on this here soon, hopefully. But here's what we got so far. We've moved a couple of the fry over. There's still a ton of fry though over in the quarantine tank that I'm gonna work on moving. And I still have to figure out where the other 2 plecas are gonna go. But yeah, there's the look at the tank so far. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye.